Welcome to the Piston Fanatic. I'm your host, Dave Dalton, and I'm excited to share my passion and perspective of our Detroit Pistons as we go on this fantastic voyage together. I've been a diehard Piston fan since the days of Dave Bing and Bob Lanier. I've also been the varsity basketball coach of a very successful program in northern Michigan. I want to thank all of you for listening. I apologize for not being on the air more. Please subscribe and like. Our Pistons did it, man. 130 to 106. We knocked off the Indiana Pacers on their home court. They just got done winning 3 in a row, and it's a big game in the Cup. So now we're 3-0 in the Cup, just like the Bucks, and we have a 28-point differential, which matters in the Cup, and the Bucks have a 29. So really, to finish and to win our pool and to be guaranteed to go to the knockout round, we just have to beat the Bucks on Tuesday because they have a 1 point edge on the point differential. So anyway, arguably the best game of the season. We look like a team. We look like a playoff team. We look like a really good team, solid team, a deep team. It was an impressive win for our Detroit Pistons. And so real excited to talk about this game. And again, I apologize. I had surgery on my neck, and I think I can show you a picture of it, of what my neck looks like. So there's like over 20 some staples down my neck. They stuck two titanium rods, one on each side of my neck, and then they screwed it into the front part. But I have had a lot of nausea and a lot of pain. And a week from today, I get my staples out. So that's supposed to make me feel better, I think. So anyway, I don't want to harp on what happened with me. I want to harp on what happened with the Pistons. And we had, again, it was an impressive all-around win. We had 6 players in double figures. We moved the ball really well, and we had 5 players that scored 14 or more, and 3 players that scored 23 or more. So that is just really a great balanced attack, and a lot of guys playing well. So they're guys that can play well. It's not a surprise we got CADE back. CADE was injured. I think it almost was a blessing that he had 3 games off because he had the back spasms before that. And so then him and Tobias came back tonight, and so it was great. And now we got Asar back, and Asar's still going to get better and better as we go. But yeah, it was. CADE said it was fun. He said that was a good one. He said we all want to go to Vegas, so they're really excited. This is so good for the team and the chemistry and the culture and the morale and everything about it. They are excited. I mean, after last year, what a nightmare losing 28 in a row to go from that to this, and they won their 9th game of the season, and it is just you can feel it, you can see it in their body language. They don't look like that crappy team, and I have said that CADE could be an all-star. He's certainly playing like an all-star, and this is exactly the scenario that would have to happen if we can get into that, and if we can get to Vegas and play in those games, it would, I think, even spur his. And that's not what matters. I mean, obviously, we love to have CADE be an all-star, but there's just a lot of guys. Maxi's an all-star. Trae Young has been brilliant lately. Garland and Mitchell are on the best team, and so they're both guards. And Halliburton, and they're just Jalen Brunson. I mean, and then the Celtics got good guards. So how do they're doing the All-Star game different this year. They're going to have 3 NBA teams of All-Stars, 8 on each team, and then they're going to have the winner of the rookie challenge game, the second-year players and the first-year players, and that team is going to play in a 4-game knockout tournament. So we'll see how that is, but I just, we would love to have him make it. I mean, tonight, 24 points, 11 assists, 6 rebounds, 4 for 6 on threes. He hit some big threes, man, when we needed it. He did a step-back 3 when the things were getting bad, and I love the way JB subs him. He subs him out with like 3 minutes left in the first quarter and the third quarter. He rests him. He puts him in, and if we have an offensive possession like we did tonight, at the end of the third, 8.3 seconds left, he sticks CADE in. CADE takes it all the way into the rack. He scores it. He gets fouled. They don't call it. CADE has been much more vocal with the refs, and they kind of know it. I think that they don't call fouls. I think they teed him up once or twice, but I still think hopefully he starts getting more respect. But he was sensational tonight. He did have a stretch like he's done where he just dribbles into too many people and just turns it over, and that lets the other team back in the game. We had a bad stretch tonight where we We had that huge 19-point lead, and then when we get in trouble is when we take bad shots and turn it over, which is that's what every team that struggles does, and every team inevitably has a stretch like that in almost every game. So we can't say that it's just us, but it was great to have. This is the first time I think that we had the full squad, and it was cool. Cade said that we had um, At Asar Thompson, and I'm just going to tell you this. Asar, we haven't got to see him much. He wasn't as impressive tonight. I feel like as in the other nights. But here, this dude plays. He hasn't played. He hasn't played in 9 months, and he comes out on the court, and he looks bigger, stronger, more muscular, thicker, and his shot looks way better. But it's going to take time because there's a mentality. I always talked about like Stu shot really well on threes last year, but he did not want to shoot the three, and so he's not really a shooter. Asar is still going to take. It's going to take a whole another year, but here he is. It was killer, man. He wide open. They're leaving him wide open, just like they're leaving Holland in the corner, and he misses two in a row, and they come down and score, and they cut the lead, and what happens the third time? He's wide open. Cade throws him the ball again, and he knocks it down. But I mean, there is undeniable difference in his mechanics and his smoothness of his shot, and his left hand is, like I said before, is in the right place. But here it is. He played 10 minutes tonight, 10 minutes, and he had 4 assists. He's played like 16 minutes or whatever he's played in the other previous 3 games. So I think this is his 4th game back. Every game he's had 4 assists, and he hardly plays. And so the number of times he touches it for assists he gets, Beasley never gets 4 assists. Beasley hasn't got 4 assists all year. Beasley had, how many assists did he have tonight? 0. And I'm not knocking Beasley. Beasley has been a huge force for us in so many ways. He led us in scoring. He's knocking down the three at a high clip, but he's got one thing on his mind when he touches the ball, and that's to put it up. And he's been putting it in, so that's a good thing. But anyway, the point is, Asar doesn't hardly play, and so the number of touches he gets to get 4 assists for 4 games straight is just remarkable. That just shows you that can't happen accidentally. That just not a lucky quirk. That's because he can pass the ball really well, and he has a great feel for the game. And so as he gets in shape, and it's noticeable. I think JB usually plays him only in like 4-minute stretches at the most. He is laboring. He is tired when he's out there, but he is it's exciting for me to have him back. And then Jaden Ivey, he gets 23 points. Thing that you always want to look at, guys, I talk about this all the time, is how many shots did they take? Ivey took 13 shots. He took 13, and he had 23 points. And so that is impressive. And he had 5 rebounds and 6 assists. And so that is tough, man. He is really playing tough. Cade's assists. So they made a big thing about Cade. He's had 11 straight games with 9 or more assists. The first player since the 80s that did it. My man Isaiah Thomas did it back in the 80s. So he's the first Piston that's done that since then. And so, but why is he doing that? He's not making. I don't think he's making that much better passes than he did last year. It's just guys are making shots. I mean, Ivey's making shots, and obviously Beasley and Tobias is making some, and Hardaway's making some. So we got some shooters. Fontecchio has played really well lately, and tonight he hardly gets to play. So it's really a tough thing, and I'm not going to blame JB at all, but he had all these players in there, and he really respects the vets, and that just is how the game works. And he's been around the NBA his whole life. He's been coaching, an assistant or coach for over 20 years, and then he was with his dad when his dad was a coach. He was at games all the time, and so he knows how the pecking order goes and things. And so he's given the respect to Tobias and Hardaway and Beasley over Fontecchio. And so he hasn't got the chances. He's shot much better lately, and but he's not. He's just, where is he going to get minutes? Because now Asar's there, and Asar's minutes are only going to go in one direction, I think, and I hope they do. So anyway, it was good to see that his shot looks so much better, and like you said, he's making those plays. He's assisting on the ball, and we just, we got that. We're 20 plus 28. They were really trying hard at the end of the game to put points up on the board for the point differential for this knockout tournament. So if we don't beat the Bucks, we still can get in to the tournament, but it's going to be harder. It'll be interesting to see. I'm sure there's probably all kinds of different combinations that can come into play, but that is still, I think, had to help us having that big point differential tonight, because going into tonight we didn't have very many. But yeah, anyway, yeah, I like the way I said this already. I'm going to just repeat it again. The way that JB takes Cade out, and I've said this when I could never understand why NBA coaches, like, all the time when Cade played, would play the first 8 or 9 minutes of the first quarter, and then he would play the last 7 or 8 minutes of the second quarter. And so he would sit out this long stretch. It didn't make any sense to me as a high school coach. I would put my players in and take my players out. So again, JB puts him in, 3 minutes left, takes him out, puts him back in at the start of the third, and then he gets another break for 3 minutes or 4 minutes or whatever in the second quarter and in the fourth quarter, and then but he puts him back in. Tonight he played him, I think, more in the fourth quarter, and he's playing that. I mean, 33 minutes, that's about what he should play, 33, 34 minutes. So I love the way JB's orchestrating that, just like the way he's doing what I said. I said it multiple times. You can go back and listen to my podcast where I said that they needed to stagger Cade and Ivey. I was adamant about it before the season started last year, and then what happened? Killian starts. So anyway, Hardaway didn't have his great game tonight, but 27 minutes, 3 for 8, 2 for 6 on threes, 2 for 2. But he did have 4 rebounds and an assist, so he doesn't usually do that. But 10 points. It's a good game. Tobias played 30 minutes. He doesn't get the shots. He doesn't get as many shots usually as Beasley and Hardaway, but he had 8 shots tonight, and he still scored 16 points because he was 2 for 5 on threes, and he missed 4 for 4 on free throws. But he got 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. That's a tremendous game. Duran looked tough tonight, and 26 minutes only, and he starts out the game making dumb fouls. He fouled Miles Turner, who was shooting an impossible fadeaway jumper, and he bailed him out, fouling him. And Duran always puts his hands up. Every call against him, every call that he doesn't get, he's always doing that. But he's not going to get those calls, and then he gets called for an illegal pick, which he's just got to try to figure out how not to get those. And it seems like by now he would, because it takes him out of the game. He had to come out of the game. He had 2 fouls early, but he still ended up with only 26 minutes. He was 5 for 8, 4 for 7 on free throws, which he still, like, it's a mystery why he was so good last year and not good this year. But 12 rebounds in 26 minutes. That is something. And so for all the Jalen Duren haters, 4 block shots. He is going after the ball, and you just can't deny that he's going after it way more than he did last year. I mean, it's a tribute to the coaching staff, to coaching him up. I mean, everybody said how terrible he was last year, and he was. He was nowhere to be seen when the ball was shot at the rim. And even when he doesn't block it, he is going after it, and he's in position to do it, and that's called coaching. So it's a good thing. So he had 14 points, and Ivey, 31 minutes, like I said, only 13 shots, 8 for 13, 3 for 8 on threes, 4 for 4 on free throws, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 turnovers, 23 points. Cade, 33 minutes, 10 for 19, and he took a couple bad shots, but everybody does when they take that many shots. But he was 4 for 6 on threes, and I'm going to say it. His shot is flat. If you watch Beasley's shot, if you watch Hardaway's shot, if you watch Fontecchio's shot, they're getting like 4 feet more arc on their shots, and most good 3-point. If you watch Halliburton shoot, if you watch Steph shoot, if you watch so many of the good players shoot, they get arc on their shot. And Cade's he's got a great shooting eye to be able to shoot as consistent as he does flat. Here's the thing. I don't know how many people have noticed. I asked Jack Kelly to look this up. Cade doesn't shoot the mid-range anymore. I mean, that he gets, if you want to call, he shoots like 5 feet in, 5 feet or closer to the basket. He shoots a lot of shots there, and he's shooting more and more threes, which we wanted him to. But his shots, I got to believe, are way down from his mid-range, from the 5-foot shot to the 15-foot shot, that area right there where he used to own that area. He used to be the top percentage shooter in the NBA in that area, and he could get to those spots, and he's not. I'm not sure exactly why he's not doing it, but anyway, I'm not complaining. He's having a fantastic season. So Beasley, 28 minutes, 10 for 14, 5 for 9 on threes. Real impressive. Like only 1 rebound and 0 assists. So he's on the court. He knows why he's there. So 25 points, leading scorer. Stu, and yeah, I love Stu because Stu don't care. I guarantee you, Stu is just as happy as anybody in that locker room. And he plays 22 minutes. He's 1 for 2, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 points. And he's gonna. The thing about Stu is next game he might have 12 points and 8 rebounds and 3 blocks. He goes out there and he battles. So Sarah, like I said, he didn't shoot good. He had opportunities. He's gonna be good. I'm confident, very confident in him. But he had played 10 minutes, 1 for 5, 1 for 3 on threes, 2 for 2 on free throws. But like I said, the big number, 4 assists. He got a steal. Tech was 2 for 2 and 1 for 1 on threes and 5 points in only 17 minutes. Holland was, I think he only played 11 minutes. He was 2 for 4. And Holland, he's got to hopefully get better on his threes. He's shooting like 11% on threes for the season. So that's not good. But anyway, we shot 58% from the floor and 47% on threes. And to be honest, we all know the Pacers are not good on defense, but that still was a lot to do with good ball movement. But we still turned it over 18 times, which is way too many. And we just got to, get rid of that. We just got to keep that like under 15 or lower. I mean, that's still maybe too many, but I think we can win if we do that. Just want to throw out there, my guys I talked about in the preseason that I wanted so badly. Well, I was so disappointed that we traded Grimes. I don't know who he would play for because these other guys are playing good, but Grimes is 24 years old, and Grimes is a better defender than anybody we have on our team except for Asar. He's better on defense, but he is tearing it up right now. He had a bad start for the Mavs. Now he's playing really tough. But Najee Marshall, if you listen to my podcast all summer, and I wanted us to sign Najee Marshall, and he is playing like the sixth man of the year. The last 3 games, he's averaged like 24 points and shooting like 60% on threes, and he's a tough defender, really tough and physical, and he is playing really good. And we could have signed him for not very much money. He had like 3 years, 27 million. So anyway, can't complain about our team. We got here's this real interesting thing is we play tomorrow night against the Sixers. And I should have said this at the beginning of the podcast. I hope some of you are still listening, but the Sixers, that's a tough game because we got all this hype about the NBA Cup, and we got this game with the Sixers we want to win tomorrow night. And so it would be easy to look forward. Everybody's there. I heard CADE even in the post-game press conference where they were talking about Tuesday night. But here's the thing that works, scheduling matters, and we are in a great spot. Does that mean we're going to win? No, that doesn't mean, because Lillard and Giannis are 2 of the best players that ever played the game of basketball, and they're on the same team. And so if they both play, but I think that our players are going to come at it with all they got, and our crowd is going to be in it from the get-go like a playoff game. So I think it's going to be electric. But we got that game with the Pacers. But anyway, the great thing is we got 2 days off. We play the Sixers tomorrow night, and then we come back and we have 2 nights off to get ready to play game plan and recover our bodies and get ready to play the Bucks. So anyway, you need to be the reason that somebody feels cared for, because you might be the only person that does. So thank you for listening, and thank you for all your prayers and your thoughts. And I do feel bad that I know I had such a good following and I lost it. I don't blame you. I was off for like 2 months this summer, and now I've been off again. I had a lot of pain and some nausea, and so it's just been hard for me to come back and do these, but I love doing it, and I love you, my listeners. And so let's go Pistons.